meeting of the Airport Special Management Committee. If you would all join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, well, I guess this is my last official act as chairman, so I'm going to help us reorganize the committee so that I take a nomination for chairman.
I would like to nominate Robbie.
Robbie? Got a
I'll second
on
that. Second.
All right. Any other comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Robbie? Enjoyed the meeting.
Well, thank you so much. And see what power he gets, Brian? He just took it over, right?
Congratulations,
Brian,
Robbie.
supposed to do that. Thank you.
Oh, Brian was supposed to.
Okay. So now, Brian, am I supposed to do a vice chair? Yes. Yes, sir. Okay. Is there a nomination for a vice chair, please?
I'll nominate,
I thought you appoint.
No, we nominate.
Is the, yeah.
Okay.
What's the role or the?
I'll nominate,
Right there.
no.
Is it Noel?
It's no.
So there's a motion for Noel. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Do I take public comment on this?
No, you don't need to.
Okay. No public comment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right,
Other than Noel?
congratulations, Marty.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. You did an outstanding job, Mr. Chris. Okay, now we'd like to call on Ben for any staff recognitions.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. James Walsh, could you stand? Good to recognize you today. So, James, we're recognizing James today. He's a project administrator in maintenance contracts, and he just recently obtained his certified membership, a CM designation with the Airport Association of Airport Executives. This CM professional certification and is for an individual that must successfully complete a 180 question examination covering many areas of airport knowledge, including operations, maintenance, safety, administration, and planning. And I just please join me in congratulating James. And I'd like to say that I've done it myself, and I know several others have. It's not an easy thing to do, and I just want to congratulate James on his accomplishment.
Congratulations.
And that's all I have, Madam Chair.
That's y'all?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Is there any public comment on the consent agenda, Vicki, that we might have from anyone? Okay. Well, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Public comment?
I'll second it.
And no items to be pulled from it? Okay. No? And I'll ask again, any public comment, since there's a motion second. Hearing none? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Likewise, then we'll move forward to the administrative side of our agenda, and that would start with tab 13, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so item 13, and Dan, you want to?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 13 requests the board approve the airline use agreement with JetBlue, and I'd ask Mr. McGonigal to that item, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Brian McGonigal. 13 is requesting the board approve a 10-year airline airport use agreement with JetBlue Airlines. If you recall, at the December ASMC and January board, we brought 7 airline agreements to you. This is the last and final one, so all 8 have signed. We're thrilled to have this last one in. If you want me to highlight the agreement, in case some of you might not have been here in December, but this is a big deal. This is a 10-year agreement. This is absolutely the best business deal that we've done with the airlines ever. They're committing 10 years to this market, all 8 airlines. And the biggest thing that this agreement did was provide us the financial capability to pivot to a 14-gate Concourse E project, which we're really excited to do. They're committed. They said do it. So here we are, and all 8 signed.
That is wonderful, and I'll say again, it's just to me, a real commitment as to what all the staff and where this RSW is for airlines, major airlines to commit to us for a 10-year period. So exceptional. And although this is the last and final one, there is nothing slid in here that says Ben can leave early, right?
He cannot leave.
Okay, very good. All right, is there a motion to accept this?
Yeah, I'll move that, or I'll second it, whatever.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any public comment regarding this item? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so it stands
thank you.
approved. Thank you. And so now we move to item 14.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Item 14, request the board accept a state grant in the amount of $2.5 million from the Florida Department of Transportation for our project over at Page Field, and I'd ask Ms. Underhill to further
Good afternoon,
explain.
committee members. For the record, Emily Underhill. Item 14 is seeking approval to accept an FDOT fiscal year 23-24 grant to be used for eligible costs under the Pagefield Ramp and Hangar project that is currently under construction and is expected to be completed in the fall of this year. The project adds 81 hangars, a rehabilitated and expanded aircraft parking ramp, and a new general aviation center to the airport. Port Authority staff continues to work with FDOT to program additional funds to reduce the Port Authority's costs associated with this project. This money supplements prior grants that were previously received, and this brings FDOT's participation to date totaling $5.5 million. Staff recommends approval accepting this grant in the amount of $2.5 million.
Any questions for Ms. Underhill?
Just, Amy, we had a public speaker, whose name escapes me, on that whole project, placement of the restrooms and so forth. Were we able to incorporate any of those concerns? Do you recall?
The
Remember
public
that?
speaker, no, I don't. Do you remember that? No, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm sorry.
Trying to remember his name. That's right, never mind.
Okay,
It's off topic, I know.
okay,
We're only looking to accept the money, and
yes.
I'm never gonna vote no to accept money.
Any further?
If I can, if I
Yeah.
could, Madam Chair, if I may. So I do recall there was a public speaker.
Steinberg.
Yeah, there was a gentleman that spoke, and we did end up having a conversation with him after the fact and described the scope of the project and why we were doing what we were doing. And I don't have all the specifics about the conversation, but I do know that he did understand the financial capabilities that we had for that building and why we were doing what we were doing. So we did address it with him. I do know that.
Good.
So
Mark Steinberg, I believe.
it was, that was the name. Yes, sir.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Any other comment or questions?
I know it's off topic.
Hearing none, is there a motion for acceptance?
I'll
I'll make,
move it.
go ahead.
Randy, motions, and Fran?
I'll second it.
Okay. Second. Any public comment on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So it stands approved. Moving on to item 15.
All right, item 15. Recently, in January this year, the board selected Half Acre Construction as a successful CMGC firm to provide construction management, general contracting services for a new public safety building at RSW to house various airport police department and emergency operations functions. Since then, staff has successfully negotiated a contract and an initial task under a contract amendment to perform pre-construction services during the remainder of the design and at the conclusion of the design, bid management services. Staff therefore recommends that the Airport Special Management Committee authorize execution of this contract and a contract amendment to include the first task in the amount of $119,804.
Very good. Any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion and
A second.
a second, okay. Any public comment on this item? Hearing none, it stands approved. And Ben, I apologize, I skipped totally over walk-on. Do you want to wait till?
No, we'll do that, Madam
After?
Chair, we can do that at the end of the administrative agenda.
Okay, very good, sorry. All right, so. we
For
have-
item 16,
Mhm,
Taxiway Foxtrot, or Taxiway F, is a 12,000-foot long section of asphalt pavement that parallels our single runway. It is a critical section of the airfield, and it is located in between the runway and the terminal apron area. Since its original construction in 2004, various segments of the taxiway have experienced pavement distresses that have resulted in needed repairs. For example, in the fall of 2015, emergency repairs were made to a segment of taxiway F between taxiway connectors F8 and F9. Unfortunately, last spring, another depression was discovered in the same general location near the 2015 distress. After investigation by one of our Port Authority's consultants, RSNH, it was advised that this section of taxiway be closed to aircraft until the pavement could be restored. In order to minimize operational impacts, particularly seasonal traffic, emergency design and construction remedies were initiated. Construction repairs were done by Owen Ames Kimball, one of the Port Authority's continuing construction manager general contractor firms. The pavement reconstruction and injection grounding repairs were successfully completed in early November. In accordance with the Port Authority Purchasing Manual procedures, staff seeks after-the-fact approval of the investigation, design, and construction costs in the amount of $608,467.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? Hearing none. Is there a motion to approve?
You want public comment?
Oh, no, after the motion and second.
I beg your pardon.
That's okay.
I'll move then.
You'll move?
I'll second.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any public comment on this item? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And no opposed. All right, now we'll move to item 17. Got a full agenda there, Emily.
Yes. For item number 17, an enabling item of work towards the upcoming Phase 2 terminal expansion, which includes a new 14-gate Concourse E facility, has recently been designed and finalized, allowing Suffolk Construction, the board-selected construction manager general contractor, to complete pre-construction services and successfully bid the project. The scope of this project allows Concourse D gates to be relocated during a 6-month period from April through November of this year in advance of the balance of work anticipated to start later this fall. Staff asked that the advisory committee first endorse the contract amendment in the amount of $9,367,126 to provide for the Concourse D gate reconfigurations, and secondly, approve a total project budget in the amount of $13,033,887.
Any comments or questions of Emily?
I'll move the item.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second on this item. Is there any public comment on this item? Okay, hearing none, that stands approved, and let's get them moving, right?
All right.
Get 'em going. Okay, so item number 18, we'll move to that.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Oh, so sorry. Yes, I guess I should, because I can't get it started, right? So, all those approved? I mean, all those in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. We all want to get it going, right? Okay, now it's approved.
Yep.
To move on. Okay, Emily.
Okay, for
Thank
the
you.
last item, agenda item 18, it's related to the previous item. Under this contract amendment, Atkins, who's the engineer of record for the Concourse D gate reconfigurations, has completed the design effort and will work cooperatively with the CMGC Suffolk Construction to perform various design-related assistance and quality assurance testing throughout the construction duration. Staff requests that the advisory committee authorize the contract amendment in the amount of $516,676.58, which provides for the needed construction administration services during the construction activities.
Excellent. Any questions or comments of Ms. Underhill? Yes, no.
I'm curious, I understand we've had a few problems come up with the construction of the addition to the terminal building. Are any of these companies that we're talking about now, Atkins or Suffolk, are they involved in that activity?
Yes, Atkins is involved with the current construction.
And so we're happy with the way those issues are being resolved?
You want me to handle this question?
Sure, yeah. Well, Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, sir.
it's that, so, yes, so Atkins is one of the firms, you know, obviously that did the design and construction administration for the project, and we are currently working through some issues with them on that and expect to be satisfied at some point in the future, but we are currently working through some tough issues right now, so.
Are these, additional charges related to any of that activity?
No, this is for a different.
This is all new
this is all
work.
It's
For a
all
different
new work.
project.
Yes.
For a completely different project, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, any other questions or comments?
I'll move the item.
If I may, at the last joint meeting that we had, I think comment was made by one of the Port Authority that we're behind. We're behind in where we're going. Is this what they're talking about, that we're behind? Because I didn't have a clue that we were behind on all of our new construction.
Emily, do you want to address that?
Yeah, the current terminal expansion project, the Phase 1 project, is behind schedule. And as Ben said, we're working through some design-related issues and trying to resolve those so we can
Okay.
get back on schedule, hopefully, and make up some time. Ultimately, the project will be delayed, but we're going to try to do our best to recover as much time as we can.
What's our target completion date?
Contractually, it was supposed to be October of 2024, so what, 8 months from now? But it will be delayed beyond that, probably delayed up to at least a year.
That much?
Mhm.
I didn't quite hear you, Emily. When's it supposed to be finished now?
It was supposed to be done in October of 2024, substantial completion, that was the contractual date. But based on the delays we've experienced, and the issues we're trying to resolve, it's probably gonna be at least a year delay.
A year.
Yes, sir.
And that was specifically on what? On that, on the work that you're having issues on? Is that what you're saying? Not on this project that you just
Yeah,
wrapped
this
up?
is, again, this item on the agenda today has nothing to do
Totally
with,
different.
with the project that you, the advisory committee is asking questions on right now.
Correct.
So, Emily, do you want to answer the question?
Yes, can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Ma'am, so what is it that won't be done for about a year?
The
And-
current terminal expansion project, the Phase 1 construction, roughly, close to $300 million worth of construction. We're expanding the building out, consolidating the checkpoint, that project. That's
Okay,
what's
it's
being
not
delayed.
this, the
No,
concourse?
no, this is planned to start right now in April, after the board approves this contract amendment. We'll be issuing a notice to proceed in April and hopefully done this fall by November, because November is when the Phase 2, full part of Phase 2 will be initiated.
Okay, very good.
This one piece here that came before you today is just a small piece of enabling work that helps the contractor be able to hit the ground running later this fall.
Okay. That's curious. All right, any other questions or comments?
I'd love to explore that a little further after we approve this. Or
Okay,
not.
all right. So is there a motion to approve what's on the table, which is under item 18?
I'll move
I'll
it.
second it.
Okay, so we've had a motion and a second. Is there any public comment on this item? Okay, hearing none. Is it all approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Any naysayers? No. No one's disapproving?
Yes.
All approved, okay.
No
all right.
objection.
No objection. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Randy. Okay.
I just, while Emily's here, do these contracts have performance clauses in them saying a year? is
They have
pretty
liquidated
extensive.
damages that are assigned to different milestones, different phases of the project per se. So there's a certain liquidated damage per day that they're tardy meeting, various milestones.
Is it as much as a year?
Well, the delay could be infinite. They would be charged whatever duration we deem to be tardy. And then contractually, we could impose that amount.
At what point do we start realizing either penalties received or, are they different per contractor? How's all that work?
The liquidated damages we have differ from contract to contract, so it all depends the nature of the work. It varies. I mean, every time we have a contract, we negotiate what that liquidated damage amount is. Does that answer your question?
And it also, Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
It also depends on the scope of work that's being done within that individual contract. So it's not one set liquidated damage amount per day, or in some cases, it could be per hour, depending upon the type of work that's being done. So it varies based upon the scope and how critical the work is and how impactful the work might be if it is delayed. So it's very standard to have, liquidated damages scaled out that way in contracts.
I understand that, but are we comfortable that this will get done in the foreseeable future?
Oh, yes. Yeah. But we do have challenges on the project, and some of the challenges have been a result of the CMGC. As Emily
Of what?
alluded to, there's the construction manager
Oh,
and
okay.
construction firm that have, from the very beginning of the project, there's been some challenges that took place that were, we've been looking to look at recovery schedules on some of those things. And then, as Emily alluded to, we've been dealing with some of the design issues that we're currently working through with the design firm.
Are those
And-
issues, any of them our fault, so to speak?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I would just be careful where we go with this at this point, because as you alluded to, there is potential litigation within these contracts. So I think maybe at this point might be a little better for the county attorney's office, who's recently been brought in on this, to be able to fully review this, and then we can brief the committee on this further.
Enough said.
No,
Thanks.
that's-
Thank you.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
no.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, just so I have this straight, we have these construction manager contracts, and, they're supposed to oversee the work that's being done. Do we have people on staff that oversee these construction managers to make sure that they're properly overseeing the jobs, so we can not have these kind of delays and this kind of, situation going on in the future?
Yes, we do have staff within our engineering construction department that ensure that our contract obligations are being met. So we're verifying that people here are on site as they're supposed to be and performing the work pursuant to their contract.
Well, which party, actually identified that, there were some problems and we was gonna throw us off schedule?
Do you want me to answer that question, Mr. Attorney?
As chair, I think we've heard from our attorney, and let's just hold all of our questions until he has time to review everything, and then we'll come back. Organizationally, maybe is where you're going, what department does what. Maybe you could cover with Ben on a one-on-one basis or something.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
Appreciate it.
Excellent, okay. Now, thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Unless you're doing now, no, it looks like Brian, we have a walk-on item.
Sure.
And Ben, if you'd like to introduce.
Sure,
who's
I'll
gonna-
introduce the item and have Brian McGonigal brief that. The walk-on item requests the board approve a ground lease for the development of a cold storage facility here at RSW on the north side of the airport. And Brian, do you want to further
Yeah, sure.
explain the item?
Thank you, everybody, for allowing us to do this walk-on. We think it's real important. Appreciate you allowing us to do this.
Certainly.
This is it's a ground lease for a cold storage facility with RSW Cold Storage LLC. They propose to lease approximately 15 acres on the north side where the old terminal was, on the west side, the west end of that old terminal site. And they're proposing to build a 150,000 square foot cold storage facility. And they anticipate including both air cargo as well as non-air cargo customers. It's a 40-year lease. It's a big deal. It's with 2 5-year options. Initial rent after FAA approval would be $9,200 a month. After DBO, it will go to $46,000 a month approximately. We're really excited about this project. We have been talking to these folks for 2.5 years. We look at this as a catalyst project for Skyplex area. And if you remember Cushman Wakefield's presentation last month, they identified cold storage as a catalyst project. And so we're really excited about this. RSW Cold Storage is backed, is 100% financially backed by a company called Caris Cold Storage, headquartered in Naples. And they currently operate in 9 states, and they have 7 cold storage facilities under construction right now. So we're super excited about this. If you have any questions.
Excellent. I can just say in the briefing, understanding this project or what's happening here, this is just good for all of Southwest Florida. It's a real economic positive for us. So I'm glad it came together. So it can be done. And where is this located on our property?
So it is on the north side of the airport. If you were to, so I would, probably the best way to describe it is, you know where the old tower is? So if you go east of the old tower and there's ramp where the old terminal building used to be, it's in that general area on the,
Yeah.
no, that's the Home Depot.
Oh, that's Home Depot, forget it.
Don't confuse me, don't confuse me. Okay.
So I could
That's why I don't
actually,
have
you know what? I could show you right here, Robbie.
Yeah, that would be good.
Give you a pretty good idea. Is this thing gonna work?
I imagine we'll be having a lot of trucks going and coming to that.
There will be some, so I believe we are in this general area. Is that,
Yes, that's
is
it
that
right
pretty
there. Yep, exactly.
in that general area? That help you?
Hmm, yeah.
Is this taking up part of the old terminal?
The site, yes, it's taken up the west site. Right, he's got a.
Oh, it's not really, it's not on the ramp. The building will abut to the ramp.
Right.
So,
But that west ramp will be right in front of the building.
yeah.
Yep,
And this is, I just want to clarify, it's all part of the foreign trade zone.
yes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
airport's a foreign trade zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just gotta say, great job to the staff for
Mhm.
making this
It is.
happen.
Yeah, I'd like to, it's, Ed Moran and Properties really did a great job on, and working closely with the Caris Group. We're real excited about it.
Very good. Who are you saying? Who are you referring to?
Ed, where are you, Ed? Wavy.
There you are. Good. Take a bow.
He
And we
did a
do
great
have,
job.
we do have representatives from the Caris Capital and Caris Cold Storage team here with us today.
do you?
That's
Very
So
good.
those two
Welcome,
gentlemen. If you
welcome.
have any questions, specific questions, they could.
Excellent. When will it be finished? No.
And
No.
David, 60 to 100 jobs? After it's built, yep.
Okay.
How many did
60 to 100 jobs once it's operating.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank,
Good
Is there a
job.
motion?
Big deal.
Motion?
the item.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Excellent. Motion and a second. Is any public comment? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Excellent. Good
Thank you.
job.
Thank
Thank you so much. Okay, I think that's all of our items, and now we'll move to executive director items.
Yes,
Chairman?
thank you, Madam Chair. I have just a few items. First, just like to mention, if you hadn't seen any of the news on Silver Airways, they are an airline based in Fort Lauderdale. They began nonstop service on April 18th to Key West. And those flights operate on an ATR 42 4 times a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we welcome them back. RSW continues to be positive territory for capacity in February compared to other Florida airports, as airlines continue to add additional flights. Compared to other top U.S. airports, we are ranked 37th in flights and 39th in seats for the month. In March of 2024, RSW is expected to have over 1.8 million seats available, which will be the highest in our airport history. So we're real excited about that. And base operations at Page Field sold nearly 250,000 gallons of fuel in January, which was a 9.8% increase compared to the same period last year. And fiscal year to date, fuel is up 7.3% compared to the same period last year. And that's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Excellent. That was all positive and good. So, good comments. All right, then our port attorney.
No items, ma'am.
No items? Okay, that's good. Good. I like that. All right, any comments from our members here from the Special Management Committee that you want to discuss? All right. Any public comment on any other matters from the public? Well, wonderful. Hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.